Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to daily current affairs session. I hope my voice as well as video is clear. So these are the articles that we are going to cover today. First one, Shanghai Cooperation for Organization. So this is of international relations. We have discussed this few times before this, but yes, again this is in news. We will see about the Astana Declaration as well, where the summit is happening, right? Then fact check unit. So this can be part of social issues or even polity as well, right? So this is a fact check, fake news check unit of the government. So let's see what is the details about this fact check unit. Then about Naxalism. So this is part of internal security. Internal security. Then Li-Fi technology from science and technology. Then exercise MAITREE from defense. Then we have Global IndiaAI Summit 2024. So this summits and organization, you can take this part of science and technology itself related to the artificial intelligence. And we have a good number of factual pointers, around 6 to 7 factual pointers are there. And finally, some practice questions, right? So these are the articles that we are going to cover today. First one about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right? So the context is, in place of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Shekhar, our External Affairs Minister, is attending the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, which is happening in Astana, Kazakhstan. So this is important. So this year SCO Summit is happening in Astana, Kazakhstan, right? So this is the context. We will see Astana Declaration, which is about to release. They have given certain elements in the Hindu articles. But before that, let's see what actually is a Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right? So this is a intergovernmental political, economic and security alliance. A very important term here, security alliance. That means it's like a NATO. How NATO is working for Western countries. So Shanghai Cooperation Organization is also working for the Asian countries, right? So this is a security alliance as well as political and economic alliance between certain countries, including India, right? So what are the security alliances? Security alliances means those group of countries which are working for the proper security of those countries. It can be of external threat or it can be of internal threat, like terrorism, right? Or defense related things. So all those cooperate among each other related to security of the nations. So that is called as a security alliance, right? It was initially launched in 2001. Way back in 2001, it was launched with just 6 countries, right? Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan. So actually 5 countries are the ones which are part earlier, which was called, when this organization was launched, it was called as Shanghai 5. So only these 5 countries was part of it. Later, Uzbekistan also joined after 2 years in 2003. After a few years, Uzbekistan also joined, right? Initially it was called as Shanghai 5. The first summit was happened in Shanghai in China in 2001. We have seen this is the first summit and it was established in 2001 itself. So as all these countries has met in Shanghai, which is a city in China, it was called as Shanghai Summit or Shanghai Organization, right? But the actual headquarters is not in Shanghai. Shanghai is in China, but Beijing is also in China and the headquarters of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right? So the headquarters of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization is Beijing, not the Shanghai, fine? So first meeting has happened in Shanghai. In 2015, the UFA Summit, Russia has proposed that India and Pakistan will become the full-time member. So India is not a founding member in this organization. It does not join in 2001, rather India has officially joined in 2017. Very important fact that you have to remember as well. So in 2017, India has joined as a full-time member along with the Pakistan. Currently, India is a full-time member part of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Later, the recent one to add was Iran in 2021. Recently, Iran also became part of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right? So this main aim is to cooperate among each other, all the countries, whoever all the members, to promote security, economic growth, trade, everything will be promoted under these countries, right? So that is the objective. Yeah, so Shanghai Spirit was the core value. When it was launched in 2001, when they met, they have put certain guidelines which was called as Shanghai Spirit. So mutual trust, but actually there is a lot of lack of trust among the countries, especially because of India-China relations, India and Pakistan relations. Because of that, there is a lack of trust, but anyway, they are trying to cooperate among each others, right? So that is the Shanghai Spirit, which was launched with certain principles. Now to summarize up, the members currently China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, right? And then Pakistan, Tajikistan, Iran and Uzbekistan. So total 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 countries are there. Sometimes these numbers also will be asked in the statements. So total 9 members are part of Shanghai Cooperation Organization as of now. But there is also observer countries including Afghanistan, Belarus and Mongolia. So these are the what you call observer countries. They are not full-time members, but yes, they do participate in certain meetings whenever it was called. Now, in this year summit, Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit 2024, it was happening in Astana, Kazakhstan. So they are going to make a Astana declaration. Sometimes they will ask you in the exam, Astana Declaration 2024 is related to which organization? It is related to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So the objective or the declaration that they are going to make is to enhance economic ties, connectivity and counter-terrorist activities. Right? There is a lot of terrorist activities in the Middle East, even in the Central Asia also. So they want to counter. So through this declaration, they are going to say that we are going to fight against terrorism. From India, Indian MEA Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs Secretary Dammu Ravi has advocated that let's utilize the Chabahar port in Iran efficiently. Chabahar port is the one which is developing by India. We are managing it, right, to enhance the trade. So our proposal is to encourage the utility of Chabahar port. That will benefit both Iran as well as India and also Shanghai Cooperation Organization members. Also, it is aiming to promote international north-south corridor. We have discussed few days back itself that from Mumbai till Central Asia and then also Europe, it is connecting, avoiding the Suez Canal path and all. We have discussed few days back. So it want to encourage, from India, we are promoting these 2 elements in the Astana Declaration. So this is about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and Astana Declaration. Any doubts in this? Very good evening to one and all, Keshav, Srinath, Ranjan, Malini, Jashwant. I hope that is clear. Next one about fact check unit. Fact check unit, right? The context is the central, lot of cases were filed in Bombay High Court and then some other high courts as well. Central government has said that this fact check unit is a requirement to protect the people from fake news. See, we will understand this context a little bit later once we discuss about what actually is a fact check unit and why there is a criticism. Then you will understand the context, why certain people have filed a case in the High Court and what the center is answering those cases about, right? So center is saying that fact check unit is necessary because to contain the fake news in the digital media against the government. So this is what it has replied to the Bombay High Court. Now let's understand what actually this is a fact check unit, right? So you all know that because of the penetration of digital media or social media, there's a lot of fake news against the government because politically democratic countries will divide into a number of groups. Some people may support government, some people may support opposition parties. So there is always a grouping in the democracy because we are having a free rights, right? So because of that, certain people were promoting the fake news against the government that this was done by the government and all, right? So it will promote the enmity among the sections, and also fake news is not good for democratic health, right? Because of that, the government through Press Information Bureau, this fact check unit was established by government through Press Information Bureau, PIB, where we collect all the news, right? So this PIB was established, the fact check unit in 2019 to contain any data, any fake news related to the government. It is not taking care of the other elements, only related to the government. Whatever the news that is there, that will be checked. If someone complains, even you can complain, I can complain. If I feel that this is a wrong news, so we can share with the PIB. There is a WhatsApp as well, WhatsApp number as well. So immediately they will check. If it is true, it will say it is a true. If it is fake, it will say it is a fake. So we have a categorization of data. So the end is it want to contain the fake news against exclusively of the government, right? So that is the objective of this fake check unit. Fine? Yeah, so it will decipher this, whatever the data given, whatever the complaint it receives, so it will verify, cross-verify, and then it will give information whether it is a fake or misleading or true. So based on the information, if it is completely about the wrong news, I mean it is completely wrong news, then it is categorized as fake news. If there is a alteration of facts, some truth will be there, but they will be tweaking any certain elements and they may mislead it. Even though the data is correct, but they may interpret in a wrong manner, that data is considered as a misleading one. And if the data is true, then that can be categorized true, right? So these are the three categories where fact check unit is being categorized all the news against the governments, right? Now, who will be heading this body? It will be headed by the Director General or Additional Director General level officers from the Indian Information Service. So in the UPSC civil services, we have around 20 to 22 services, starting from IAS, IPS, and IAS as well as IPS. These are all of all India services, right? But apart from all India services, we have also central services like Foreign Service, Revenue Service, Information Service. So these officers who are under the IAS, right? IAS, they will be heading this fact check unit, right? Fine. And only complaints pertaining to the government will be taken up. They only related to the government will be given the reply back whether they are true or misleading or fake news. Now, what is the criticism about? The proponents against this fact check unit says that they may contain the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, which are the fundamental rights of our within the Indian Constitution under Article 19. So criticism says that this is against the freedom of expression or freedom of speech, where government can contain our speech. So this is what the criticism about. So they have filed a case in the various high courts, and now government is defending itself, right, in the courts. So this is the context about. You need to know about what is the purpose of fact check unit, who launched this, who will be heading it, right, and some features, right? So this is about the fact check unit. Any doubts in this? I hope that is clear. Next one, Naxalism. Again, this was also discussed few times whenever the events has happened. Recently, there was an article in the Hindu that 5 Naxals were killed in Chhattisgarh by the police. This is why this article was explained about the Naxalism, the penetration of Naxalism in the eastern India, all these things. So let's summarize what is the history about Naxalism. When the Britishers has ruled over the Indian subcontinent, they have launched a lot of land reforms, right, which are actually against our cultural ethos, even economic ethos, right, like Jamindari rights, Raitwari system, Jamindari system, Raitwari system, Mahalwari system. So those were against the, they were actually exploiting the farmers. Those lands were given to the Jamindars, and the land accumulation has done. A single person was used to occupy around 100 to 200 acres. 100 to 200 acres in most of the tribal hamlets especially, right? In the other parts of India, there was recently developed and land distribution was relatively fine. But in tribal regions, almost all the land were occupied by the Jamindars, right? Now, after the independence, after 1947 independence, the Britishers went away. Still, the land was under the Jamindars. Only 1% of people were occupying 80%, 60% of the total land in different regions, right? So the tribal people were not having any land. They are not the owners. Even though they were the actual residing since thousands of years, they did not get the land rights. Because of this exploitation, certain people from West Bengal, Naxalbari village, they have taken the weapons or arms against these Jamindars. Initially, it was started a fight against the Jamindars, but later it extended a fight against the government, because governments were also not able to resolve their issues. Why there is a government? Government is to resolve the people's issue, but it was failed to achieve the land reforms as well. It was failed to redistribute the land, right? That's why this rebellion which started against the local landlords or Jamindar, it extended throughout the eastern India, even against the government, right? It went to such an high intensity that many police officers were killed, many of the legislators like local MLAs were killed by the Naxals, right? So it was initiated in 1967 in India, in the eastern part. Naxalbari is a village in the West Bengal, right? It was led by Kanu Sanyal and Jagan Santal. So these two were the beginners or starters for this, Naxalism, right? They were inspired by, it was occurred mostly in the eastern region, because the eastern region consists of lot of forests like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Odisha, even Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So these parts were the ones which were residing by the localers, right? It was inspired by Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong is a leader of China, right? When China went for the civil war in 1948, he was the one who won, right? Who win this battle between the civil war, and other party has went to Taiwan. Now currently Taiwan is also disputed, right? You all know. It was there in news. So other party went to Taiwan and Mao Zedong has become the leader. So his ideology was a radical in nature, the communist nature. That means all the resources of the country has to be equally distributed among the people. There should not actually be a government. There should not be no government. All the people are equal and all the resources has to be enjoyed equally by the people. That was his ideology. But that is not actually the correct thing in democracy. Whoever has the capabilities, they will earn, right? So that's how it is against the democratic values. And wherever there is a spread of Naxalism, those are called with the name Red Corridor, right? But after few years, Mao Zedong's ideology was also kept sidelined, and it went to very violent approach. It went very violent approach. As we have said earlier, there was a lot of deaths as well from police officers as well as the legislators, right? So you can see here, this is the recent data given by the Ministry of Home Affairs. These are the ones which were being affected by the Naxalism. So the red corridor is the ones which are highly influenced by the Naxalism, and other parts are also certain regions where there is the presence of Naxalists, right? And these are the new emerging areas in the northeast where there is a possibility of Naxalism in the future, right? So these are the data collected from the Ministry of Home Affairs itself. It has decreased to 46 districts. Earlier it was around 96 districts this Naxalism was being affected in 2010, but now it was reported only 46 districts according to the Ministry of Home Affairs. It was down by 76% in 2002 compared to the 2010. So Naxalism is getting reduced, but yes, there is a possibility of new areas also which Naxalism may emerge. So government has taken a lot of initiatives like Samadhan initiative was also taken to address the Naxalism, and also government is taking a lot of developmental activities in this eastern part of regions, right, to integrate the local people into the mainstream development. So this is about the Naxalism. Any doubts in this? Okay, let's move to the next article. Simple but very important. Let's understand how it works. Li-Fi technology. It is not Wi-Fi, rather Li-Fi. Okay, the context is, this is again taken from Press Information Bureau. Ministry of Defense funded startup under Innovation for Defense Excellence. Innovation for Defense Excellence was a separate organization launched by Ministry of Defense to promote the technology, to promote the indigenous manufacturing of the defense equipment. So under this, government is aiming to secure Li-Fi technology for Indian defense sector. We will see what is Li-Fi technology, how it is different from Wi-Fi and all, right? So ministry is aiming to deploy Li-Fi technology in the Ministry of, Indian defense sectors, right? This is the context. Now, let's understand what actually this is a Li-Fi technology. How Wi-Fi works? Wi-Fi is a wireless technology which can transfer the actual data through radio waves. Radio waves. In an electromagnetic spectrum, internet is, or distributed through radio waves. That is called as a Wi-Fi, right? But in case of Li-Fi technology, light will be used. Instead of radio waves, light will be used to distribute the what you call internet or data, right? So if you only switch on the light, then only internet will travel or transfer from one place to other place, right? You can see here, so it can be connected through LEDs, light emitting diodes, and then it can be connected, the internet can be connected through these lights, right? So here, once you switch on, if you are in this range, then you will get the internet, right? So rather than using the radio waves, we are replacing it with the light. That is the core objective or core working process of the Li-Fi technology. And one important thing here is, in case of Wi-Fi, radio waves can travel like this, right? So for example, if you are here, and if this technology is here, and if there is any hindrance or obstacles, the waves can travel like this and they can give the data sharing. But in case of Li-Fi, the direct line of sight is required. That means no obstacle should be there, right? You can see here. So within this range, the person should there. If there is an obstacle, then light may not able to transfer, right? So direct line of sight should be there. This is one of the challenges in implementing the Li-Fi technology, right? So the main thing is here, the data can be transferred much faster than Wi-Fi. It can be up to 224 gigabytes per second. So such a huge, faster manner we can transfer the data, right? Or internet, unlike the Wi-Fi, which is actually very low. And few more advantages are there. It typically has a short range. This is again one more challenge. In the Li-Fi, when we compare to the Wi-Fi, the distance that it travel is a very short, because there will be a lot of obstacles. Wi-Fi, if you are residing in this room and if the Wi-Fi connector is in different room, you will get the internet. But in case of light, if you are using the Li-Fi, we won't be able to get, because the wall cannot transfer the light completely, right? Almost it will stop. So that's why it has a very short range when we compare to the Wi-Fi. But as the light can travel through water, unlike radio waves, which are not able to travel through water, whenever we are using the submarines, India or many countries are using the submarines underwater. So to work the communication systems there, we were not able to use the radio waves. That's why Li-Fi technology can be useful in promoting the communication technologies underwater. This is again one more advantage of the Li-Fi. Similarly, it can be used in the environment where radio frequencies are restricted. Like radio frequency waves will not travel to aircraft cabins. Whenever the airplane goes beyond range, you won't be able to get the internet. If you have traveled in a aircraft, you might be aware that we won't get any internet. It will automatically go into the flight mode. And in some hospitals also, it's very difficult to use the radio wave systems and all because of various equipment restrictions. In such places, Li-Fi can be useful in promoting the internet, right? So this is about the Li-Fi technology. Any doubts in this? You need to know about the working system and then advantages and some challenges. So those things you can remember. Next one, exercise MAITREE, right? So very short article. Recently in UPSC Civil Services exam this year, like few weeks back it was happened. They have asked about the MAITREE exercise between the India and Bangladesh, right? So now defense news are also becoming very important for higher level of exams also. Earlier it was only for defense and then lower level of exams they were asking. But now even in higher level of exams like SSC, UPSC, they are asking the questions. The context is Indian Army contingent, the group, has left for Thailand for the 13th edition of exercise MAITREE. It is a military exercise, not Navy or not Air Force. It is a military exercise between Thailand and India. And this is the 13th edition. This is the 13th edition of exercise, right? Let's also know about few details, very factual in nature. This is an annual training event between India and Thailand being happened since 2006. So the first edition has started in 2006 and now alternatively in India in this year it is happening in Thailand, next year it will be India and then again it will be in Thailand. So alternatively between the countries it is happening, right? So it is a joint military exercise between Indian Army and Thailand Army. And what is the objective? The objective is to foster military cooperation between India and Thailand. So just to encourage the military cooperation, collaboration between the two countries, they are conducting it, right? So this will be combining various elements like anti-terrorist activities or forest, jungle, in the jungle activities, right? So wherever there is a terrorist in the jungles, so it can be used to contain. This training can be used by the uniformed services, all right? Currently, we are conducting the 13th edition in Fort Vachiraprakan in Thailand. This is the place where it is happening. So just remember that this year exercise is being happening in the Thailand, not in the India, right? So that is about the exercise MAITREE. Next and the last article for today, Global India AI Summit 2024. Global India Artificial Intelligence, A means Artificial Intelligence Summit 2024. So what is artificial intelligence? Anyone, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence means simulating our brain thoughts into the system and working in the same way how humans think in that particular situation, right? So that is called as the artificial intelligence. Now, there is a lot of challenges also. We are implementing, there's a lot of things going on, we are implementing, but still there is a lot of challenges. In terms of regulating AI, some people are misusing, even terrorists are misusing this artificial intelligence, like cryptocurrency being misused in buying the arms and amputations and all, right? So because of that, still the regulation, the discussions on artificial intelligence is going on. There is also criticism that AI will replace a lot of jobs and all, right? So that's why there's a lot of discussions going on. As part of that, India is conducting Global India AI Summit 2024 from July 3rd and 4th through 2 days in New Delhi. So if you are writing the lower level of exams, the city is very, very important where the summit is going on, right? So this is the context. Now let's know more about it. Who is organizing this and all? This is being organized by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, not Niti Aayog. Okay, many people may confuse in the options. Once they see Niti Aayog, they will answer it. So this is being conducted by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and it will gather a lot of delegates, AI experts, and they will discuss what are the challenges, what solutions can be made, and how India can be a better regulator in the artificial intelligence. So it aims to set the benchmarks to address the challenges posed by the artificial intelligence in the future. That is the objective of this Global AI India Summit, right? So these are the articles that are relevant for our exams. Exactly, inside Flacio, you are correct. Make machine thinks like a human. So that is the artificial intelligence definition. Now, we have around 6 to 7 factual pointers. So let's also know about the factual things. The FANA of India checklist has been released by the released by the Geological Survey of India. And with this, India has become the first country in the world. A very, very important fact. India has become the first country in the world to release or prepare the checklist of entire fauna present in the India, right? Flora means plants, fauna means animals and some more birds as well. So heavy birds. So it has prepared an animal list, complete animal list within India, right? So this will be India will be the first country to prepare a checklist of animal species. 104,561. So 104,561 total species are there of animal kingdom from India, right? So this is also important fact. So it was released by the Ministry of Environment on the occasion of Foundation Day of Geological Survey of India, right? So this is an important fact to be remembered. Next one, Finland country is supporting the least developed countries initiative through enhanced integrated framework. So this may be asked in the exam. They will ask you what is enhanced integrated framework, or enhanced integrated framework sometimes seen in news related to what? This is the initiative to encourage the promotion of trade among the least developed countries, like African countries, mostly of least developed countries. Because of their global interaction with other countries, lack of interaction with other countries, they were not able to promote their goods and all. So to encourage them to participate in the trade, which will give the economic growth for those countries, the developed countries are helping them. So this is the initiative to promote, to encourage the trade among the least developed countries. That is the objective. To support this, there are various organizations which are also being participated. Apart from developed countries, World Bank, World Trade Organization, all those things are also being encouraged. And the fund manager for this is United Nations Office for Project Services. So the fund manager for this particular program in Enhanced Integrated Framework is United Nations Office for Project Services under the United Nations itself, right? So that is about the fact. Now, next fact, archaeologists has discovered the world's oldest known ostrich nest. It's been 41,000-year-old ostrich nest was discovered in Andhra Pradesh state, right? A very important fact. In which state it was discovered will be asked in the exam. And this will give the good information about the extinctive megafauna. Megafauna means those birds or animals which its weight is more than 50 kgs, right? So whatever the animals or birds which are heavier weight, more than 50 kgs, those are called as the megafauna. And ostrich is also one such megafauna whose weight is much higher in more than 100 kgs, right? So this was recently discovered from Andhra Pradesh state. Next one, India has chaired the first meeting of Colombo process. India has chaired its first meeting as a chair for Colombo process. We have discussed this some 1 month back or few weeks back. So Colombo process is the process where these countries, there are total 12 countries are there, who will take care of the welfare about the laborers who are working in the other countries. The people belongs to these countries will be working in a different places like USA, UAE, Saudi Arabia, right? These are all the countries which are from South Asia specifically, and some other Asian countries like China as well, Southeast Asia. So people from these countries are highly working in the other countries. So to protect their labor rights, to protect their employment rights, these countries together has launched the Colombo process, right? So this is the first time that India is chairing this process, right? So this is an important fact, Colombo process. Next one, snow blind. Snow blind. Snow blind is a new malware which is being targeted in the Android phones. So this is a malware which will, it's like a virus which will enter the mobile and then steal all the information from the mobile, which will affecting the consumers, right? So this is nothing but the new malware. Next one, last fact for now, for today, Air India is establishing the South Asia's largest first training school in Amaravati district of Maharashtra with the cost of 200 crore. So South India's largest flight training school is being launched in the Maharashtra state, that too in Amaravati district with the cost of 200 crores. So this is also important fact. So these are all the ones for today. Now let's see some practice questions. We have discussed some 6 big articles, right? And then we have discussed some factual pointers as well. Let's see who will answer the questions. Which of the following are stated advantages of Li-Fi technology over Wi-Fi technology? So they are asking, they have given 3 statements and they are asking what are the advantages of Li-Fi over the Wi-Fi, right? Li-Fi typically has longer range than Wi-Fi, first statement. Li-Fi has potential application in underwater communication system, unlike Wi-Fi which is limited application underwater. This is the second statement. Third one, Li-Fi can be used in environments where radio frequencies are restricted, such as aircraft cabins and hospitals. So what is the answer for this? This is correct. It is wherever there is a radio waves restricted, it can be used. So option A can be eliminated. Second one is also correct. The Li-Fi light can travel underwater. So this is also an advantage. So 2 should be there. First one, Li-Fi have longer range, they are saying. We have discussed, right? So what is the reason that Li-Fi has a short range when compared to the Wi-Fi? Because direct line of sight is required. There should not be any obstacle. So this is a wrong statement. And hence, answer is B. So Srinath, Sahana, Malini, Ranjan, Keshav, all of you have answered it as correct. Next one, about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. We have discussed this also. They have asked to consider some statement. It is a permanent intergovernmental international organization. So they are saying that it is a permanent intergovernmental international organization. It is headquartered at Shanghai city. So second statement is the headquarters, that it is located in the Shanghai city. Bangladesh is one of its member states. So this is the third statement. So what is the answer for this? So first statement, it is a permanent intergovernment international organizations, right? So first statement is correct. You can eliminate this one. Second one, it is headquartered at Shanghai. No, it is headquartered at Beijing. We have discussed this also. Beijing is the headquarters. So second statement can be eliminated. Third one, Bangladesh is one of its member states. No, Bangladesh is not the member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So answer is A. Yes, Sahana, Srinath and Malini has answered it as correct, right? So Bangladesh is not a member country of this organization. Next one, which organization is responsible for coordinating anti-Naxal operation across various states? So across various states to coordinate the anti-Naxal operation, which organizations are responsible? National Investigation Agency, Central Bureau of Investigation, then Ministry of Home Affairs and Greyhounds Command Force. National Investigation Agency, no, this is not the organization which will coordinate for anti-Naxal activities. It is just to investigate. CBI is also not involved. It is related to the corruption. Greyhounds is only of Andhra Pradesh, specific to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana as well, right? But Ministry of Home Affairs is the one which will coordinate across the states. So Ranjan, Keshav, Srinath, Sahana, Malini, Venkat, Venki, all of you are correct. Next question. Which of the following statements regarding exercise MAITREE 2024? Consider the following statements and they are asking about the correct statements. It is a military exercise conducted between India and Thailand. This is the first statement. The primary focus is to exercise for counter-insurgency and terrorism. So this is the objective of the organization. The exercise takes place every year in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So this is the third statement. So what is the answer for this? For fourth question, yes Madhu, for third question it is C, correct. First statement, yes, it is a joint exercise between India and Thailand, so this can be eliminated. The primary focus is to counter insurgency and terrorism, so second one is also correct. Third one, every year it takes place in Andaman Nicobar, wrong. It cannot be fixed, there is no fixed thing. It can happen in different regions based on the agreement between the countries. So answer is A. Yes, Madhu, Sahana and Venkat, Keshav, Srinath, Malini, everyone have answered this correct. Last question for today. What is the primary purpose of Colombo process? What is the primary purpose of Colombo process? Promoting regional security cooperation, facilitating consultations on overseas employment management, enhance cultural exchange among member countries, creating military alliance in Indian Ocean region. So what is the objective of this Colombo process? We have discussed this, India has chaired for the first time. It is not to create any military alliances, so there is no such concept. Cultural exchange among member countries, wrong. It is for the welfare of the employment or the labor who are working from these countries in other countries. So facilitating consultation in overseas employment. So answer is B. Yes, Sahana, Madhu, Srinath, Venkat, Venki, all of you are correct. So this is all for today's. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Have a great evening. Thank you.